Temper tantrums. It is not appropriate that a child learns to throw a fit whenever he or she is not pleased with what's happening, what you said, whatever reason. The most effective way of stopping a temper tantrum is to use the minute drill. And you use it this way. Usually in the minute drill, you give a whole minute for a child to make another choice. With a temper tantrum, you don't want to give them that much time. So you put your hand up like this and you say, it's okay to feel angry. It's not okay to have a temper tantrum. I'm going to count backwards from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. When my hand is closed, a penny goes in the jar. That's time off your life. Okay? So the bottom line is, I can't stop you from having a temper tantrum, and I can make it really expensive for you to continue that behavior. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, penny in the jar. Now for each minute you continue the temper tantrum going, it will cost you a penny in the jar. It's the minute drill. I got a call from a mom once, and she said my son, during this age zone, he was in 5th grade, he's been screaming and yelling and melting down, and I can't get him to do anything. So I coached her and I said, just leave the phone open. So she walked in the room and she said to him, it's not acceptable for you to continue yelling and screaming. You're on the minute drill. You have 1 minute, in this case, to stop ranting and raving. For each minute that you choose not to do that, I will take 15 minutes off of your golf lesson tonight. I called your instructor and I told her what's going to go on. If you miss your entire golf lesson, you will pay for the lesson anyway. You will pay for the lesson anyway. And you will miss part of it or all of it, depending on what you choose to do next. He said, you can't do that. She said, I am doing it, and your time starts now. He stopped. She walked out of the room. She says, I can't believe it. Well, you can't believe it, because when it costs too much, a child will change his or her behavior. Melting down, temper tantrums are not appropriate. It's really important that you teach children appropriate ways to handle anger. The best way to diffuse anger is to run. Best thing a child or you can do when you're really uptight or angry is to out the door and run. My second favorite way is to appropriately hit something. I've had some people argue with me about this, that you don't teach a child to hit when they're angry because it teaches a child to hit when they're angry, and I disagree. I think it does quite the opposite as long as you teach it as an appropriate way of venting anger. We had a black bag, a punching bag in our garage, and we hung it low enough that you could kick it or hit it. So a child could go out and vent anger. Scott had a temper. And so when I said no to something, I'd say to him, black bag. He'd go out the door and he'd hit the black bag or kick the black bag to defuse his anger until he learned to do that without the need to go and do something. But in the beginning, it was a training tool for him to learn not to let his temper control him. Temper tantrums are not appropriate. If you are modeling temper tantrums, if you have temper tantrums, then it's going to be a little hard for you to train your children not to misuse anger and to use it in an appropriate way. And when you use the McDaniel discipline system, you won't need to be angry all the time because your children will mind you. It works.